If you're looking to start a small business in your local community, then the Start a Local Small Business podcast is for you. Here, we'll walk you through going from concept to open for business. Here's your coach, Tammy Adams.
Hey, future business owners. It's time for another episode of the Start a Local Small Business podcast. Today, I want to talk about the role of research in your new small business. Please know that the research is probably going to be the most important thing you will do to ensure your business's success. Whatever you do, do not skip this episode and definitely do not skip this step in building your new local small business. Now, I can hear all of the A-type personalities hating this step already. Let's face it, you want to just jump right in and start running. If you do, you like to kick butt and take names, but you need to slow down, Turbo. Jumping in without doing your research will cost you tons of money and a lot of needless mistakes. So why is research so important? Listen, it helps you discover who your target customer is. It'll help you understand what are the primary needs of this target customer. You will save money and time in the future by keeping you from making stupid mistakes that always come at a price. It will help you not get fined for doing things wrong. It will save you money wasted on targeting the wrong folks. So in today's episode, I thought we would dive in a little deeper into what types of research you need to make sure that you do. And by the way, don't worry, I'll have a cheat sheet that you can download at the website startalocalsmallbusiness.com that will help you in remembering what types of research you need to be doing. The first thing that I want to discuss is why you need to study your competitors and what they do right. This is an area that you will learn tons of great intel on how to shoot out the gates with a bang. Your competitors are a wealth of information. When we think of the word competitors, we tend to automatically jump into how we are better than they are, or in this case, how much better you plan to be. We think that there's no way we will make the same mistakes they have. Please do not be arrogant and think like this. Be open to learning from them. You will be glad you did. Trust me, I've been there. You will need to fight your natural inclination to pick on what they are doing poorly. We've been trained since we were very young to pick on our competition, but you can't assume, maybe because they aren't meeting the standards you think they should, that you can just dismiss them. Let's face it, they are in business for a reason. They keep getting sales and customers for a reason. Your goal is to find out why. Maybe they are the only game in town. Maybe they have poor service yet do great quality work, so people are willing to overlook their poor service. Maybe it is the opposite. Maybe they do horrible work, but people just love them. They have fantastic customer service, so the people are a little bit more forgiving. Or it could be that they have just been around so long that folks don't know any better. It's just who you use in your town. Sometimes people don't realize that there's better options. Your goal is to become a better option for all of these reasons. Now, don't get me wrong. Knowing what they are doing poorly is great for you. You can now take these areas and leverage them in your new business. If they are bad at service, then you can set your bar so high it really stands out. If they do poor quality of work, then you make sure your work is superior to anyone else's. It is just as critical that you study what they're doing well, not just what they're doing wrong. What are they doing a fantastic job at? As we discussed earlier, there's a reason they keep getting business. Your goal is to always understand why. Talk to others. Why do they use them? What has been their experience? Maybe they do a great job targeting a certain type of customer. How are they getting these guys? So you want to make sure that you are looking at the following. What does their customer service look like? How about their quality of work? How do they do their marketing? How have they branded themselves? How do they get their people? These are just a few of the examples that you want to explore. You want to know everything, both good and bad. What can you discover about your competitors and their business? So why is this so important? Right? Because these will typically be the areas that they set the bar for you to match or exceed. If they are great on service, you will need to blow them out of the water. If you take the best of all of your competitors, then you will have an unfair advantage over them. Right now, you are starting from scratch, but with these questions answered, you will have a leg up on what it will take to beat them. You will know exactly how to create the reputation you want in the community. You get to build this business that already knows what the community is wanting and begging for. Now, in addition to learning what your future competitors do right in the marketplace, you also need to study them from a service and products perspective. What products and services are they offering? What products and services aren't they offering? Are there similarities to what you are going to offer? Are there services that you didn't even think of? How about any add-on products or services? For anything that confirms that you are on the right track and anything you might not have even thought of. Your main goal is to make sure that you can be competitive and provide what folks are looking for. By the way, it is important to identify anything they offer but rarely sell. Maybe it has a horrible return rate. Remember, just because others offer a product or service, it doesn't mean you need to sell it. If it doesn't produce any type of value, don't make the same mistake. Learn from what they have already learned. An important note here, do not carry inventory you do not need or rarely sell. All you do is tie up cash in your business that you could be using to purchase the stuff you do need, or maybe to even hire help. Better yet, your profits can be invested back into your company or into your take-home pay. Now, another area you will want to take a look at is what types of materials are they using? Is it top-notch or poor quality? Is there a standard your customers will expect? Is there an opportunity for you to take it up a level? Whatever you do, though, do not sacrifice quality to save money. But then again, don't go crazy and way over the top either. Find the balance by doing, your research. Now, before we move on to pricing, there is one more area that crosses into both categories. Is there a niche that you can carve out in your community? Something that you can become a specialist in to stand out over the competition. Maybe this niche is a certain product or service that you can offer at a great price that beats and blows the competition out of the water. We will talk about this more in a later episode, but I want to plant that seed now. Now, if you're ready, let's talk a little bit about pricing. Here's some more of the research that you need to be doing. What is your competition charging customers for their products and services? How can they even charge that price? Are they overpriced? Are they underpriced? Can you determine what their profit margin is on the products and services that they offer? Later, we will have an episode on how you want to set your prices, but it all starts with studying your competition and what they are charging. Please remember, though, it all comes down to service and quality of work. These two things must always remain top notch. The next part of your research on your competitors will be how they market their business. For example, do they have a website? If so, what do they include on it? How can you ensure that you match or improve on theirs? Now, a word of caution, if they have a high-tech website, do not try and match this out the gate. Focus on the key items that the customer cares about, and then later make a plan to improve yours down the road. The fanciest websites aren't necessarily doing the most sales. However, you want to make sure that a website is in your marketing plan, and we will be covering this on an episode in the future. Also, do they have a Facebook page? And if so, how many likes do they have? Do they engage online with their fans? What types of posts are they doing? Can you get any types of ideas that you might be able to do? You also want to go to Google and type in your business in your town and see who pops up. Do it just like a customer would. Who comes up? Why do they come up? This will tell you who has done the right stuff behind the scenes to be found. Now make a note, you will need to claim your business on all the big search engines as well as key websites. By the way, we will discuss this in future episodes. I am all about claiming your business online. You will hear me sound like a broken record on this in the future, but it's very, very important. Probably the single most important thing you will do with your new business from an online standpoint. Let's get back to studying your competition and doing your research. You will also want to know how your competitors are marketing in the community. Are they doing flyers, postcards, car decals, newspaper? Are they sponsoring teams? What opportunities are you finding? What ideas are popping up in your head? Write them down. Be creative and think outside of the box, especially on anything that looks like a low-cost entry into marketing. You won't have a lot of money in the beginning, so you need to be creative. So see if you can borrow any of their ideas. And yes, we will continue to talk about marketing in future episodes. Finally, I want to go over one last thing on research, and that is what type of reputation your future competitors have in the local community. This one is critical, not just for you to find out about your competitors, but what it will show you is the opportunity from the customer's eyes. You want to know what the community is saying about them. For example, do they do great work and have that horrible service like we were talking about earlier? Do they show up on time? Now, don't underestimate this one. Being late bothers customers tremendously, as it is a sign of a lack of respect for their time. Other things to keep an ear out for is, are they dirty and rude? Are they known to have terrible communication and they never call people back? Remember, all of these are areas that you can leverage and grow to develop your new business. Talk to people. What is the reputation this business has? It will give you lots of insight into what your customers, your future customers, are looking for out of you. You want to know how to take your competitors' weaknesses and leverage them. For example, let's use the fact that they are late. How could you leverage this to your advantage? How about creating a catchy promo about being on time? You could waive your service fee if you are late, kind of like that old Domino's commercial. Or maybe they get a free add-on product if you're late. Make it fun and challenging for you personally, so this way you live up to your word. Another way that you can stand out is to offer a 2-hour window if your competitors only offer a 4-hour window. Think about how much we all hate waiting 4 hours for a cable guy who shows up in the 4th hour. Folks will pick you if they think they will have a shorter wait. And don't forget, don't focus on just the negative things, but also the strengths. And these are the things that you're going up against. How can you leverage those as well? It is easy to beat someone at stuff they suck at, but it is much harder to start at a high bar and then raise yours even higher. So as we wrap up this episode, it is important that you don't skip research. This is probably the most critical step you will take in your new business. Take the time needed to know what you are going up against. You will save yourself a lot of time and a lot of money from having to learn the hard way. Why make the same mistakes that others have already made before you? When you go into anything blind, you fall down a lot. When you fall down, you cost yourself money. Do you really think you can afford to spend your first year losing money after money because you could have figured it out by studying others? Or would you rather maximize your sales and profits out the gate by just spending a day or two learning all you can up front? Don't be foolish. Just do it. Remember, you need to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. You want to mirror or exceed their strengths and leverage any opportunities so that you can really stand out. Research will give you a tremendous advantage over those already in business. They have already paved the way. All you have to do is do the research so that way you can catch up to them. So many answers are already waiting for you. You just have to go and get them. So if I leave you with nothing else, I think you know that I think research is the key to your early success. By the way, feel free to shoot me your questions at tammy@localsmallbusinesscoach.com and I'll try to answer your questions. But who knows, your question could end up on either this podcast or my local small business coach podcast, depending upon when I get it and what the topic is about. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any of the future episodes. And if you haven't already, download all the previous episodes so that you can catch up. And with that, bye for now, and I'll see you on the next episode. Before you go, don't forget to visit the startalocalsmallbusiness.com website for the tools and resources you need to get your business from concept to open for business. I have some free resources for you, including a free startup course that highlights what you can expect on your journey. And if you are really serious, there is a more advanced course as well. If you use the promo code podcast, you will even get 25% off. But trust me, there are lots of other free stuff also to get you going. Once again, head on over to startalocalsmallbusiness.com and I'll see you on the next episode.